Science fiction has given us some of the greatest films of all time. 2001, A Space Odyssey, Blade Runner, The Matrix, the usual suspects. But what about those sci-fi gems that have been left to gather dust in the cosmic attic of cinema history? Today, I'm digging up 5 forgotten sci-fi classics that deserve another chance. These aren't just obscure movies, they're weird, wonderful, and in some cases, downright insane. Let's get started. Silent Running, 1972. The 70s, a time when Hollywood thought deep, existential crises, and robots that look like oversized toasters were a winning combination. Silent Running is a post-apocalyptic space drama about a botanist named Freeman Lowell, played by Bruce Dern, who is tasked with preserving Earth's last forests, which are inconveniently stored in giant greenhouse domes aboard a spaceship. When orders come down to destroy the forests, Lowell snaps, committing mutiny and murder to protect nature. The film is an emotional gut punch with a strong environmental message long before eco-conscious became a Hollywood buzzword. It features 3 of the most lovable droids in sci-fi history, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, who somehow outshine most human characters in modern blockbusters. The visuals are haunting, the music adds a melancholic touch, and Bruce Dern's descent into isolation-induced madness is both poetic and unnerving. What makes Silent Running even more compelling is its portrayal of space as a lonely, hostile place. Unlike many sci-fi films where the cosmos is filled with adventure, this one presents space as a quiet, almost oppressive void, making Lowell's slow mental unraveling even more tragic. It's an early example of hard sci-fi, where the lack of action is replaced with emotional weight, and it still holds up as a chilling warning about ecological destruction. If Wall-E had a deeply troubled uncle, this would be it. A Boy and His Dog, 1975. A post-apocalyptic wasteland, a telepathic dog, and a young Don Johnson before he discovered pastel blazers. What more could you want? A Boy and His Dog follows Vic, a teenager who roams a nuclear wasteland with his highly intelligent canine companion, Blood. In this world, scavenging for food is secondary to another pressing need, finding women. Yes, the film is controversial in its treatment of gender roles, but it's also a dark, biting satire about the baser instincts of mankind after the collapse of civilization. The real star here is Blood, voiced with a perfect mix of wit and cynicism by Tim McIntyre. Their dynamic is both hilarious and unsettling, making this one of the most unique human-animal partnerships in cinema. The film presents a grim, barren world where survival often means sacrificing morality, and Vic's coming-of-age journey is anything but conventional. Things take a bizarre turn when Vic stumbles upon an underground civilization that seems civilized on the surface, but hides disturbing secrets beneath its polite exterior. This bizarre underground society is like a twisted version of the American dream, complete with artificial suburban bliss and repressed desires bubbling under the surface. It's unsettling, surreal, and makes you question whether the wasteland above is truly worse than the sterile nightmare below. If you like your sci-fi with a side of bleak humor and moral ambiguity, A Boy and His Dog is a must-watch. Dark Star, 1974. Before Alien made space horror mainstream, John Carpenter dipped his toes into the sci-fi genre with Dark Star, a film that can best be described as 2001, a space odyssey on a shoestring budget, with a sense of humor. This low-budget, high-concept film follows a crew of jaded astronauts who have been stuck on a ship for years, mindlessly carrying out their mission to destroy unstable planets. They're bored, frustrated, and more interested in existential debates than actually doing their jobs. The film's most memorable subplot involves a sentient bomb that begins questioning its own existence and threatens to detonate itself because, well, that's what it was programmed to do. The dialogue between the bomb and the crew is pure absurdist comedy, mixing philosophy with slapstick in a way only Carpenter could pull off. There's also a mischievous alien that resembles a beach ball with claws, which is somehow both hilarious and deeply unsettling. Meanwhile, one of the crew members has an ongoing existential crisis about his life in space, making this one of the first sci-fi films to really explore the psychological toll of interstellar isolation. The whole thing feels like it was written by college students trying to meet a deadline, but that's part of its charm. If you ever wanted to see a slacker comedy set in deep space, this is the film for you. The Hidden, 1987. An alien parasite that possesses people and makes them rob banks, steal Ferraris, and listen to loud rock music? Sold. The Hidden is a criminally underrated sci-fi thriller that plays like a mix of The Terminator and Lethal Weapon, with just a pinch of invasion of the body snatchers. It follows a detective who teams up with an FBI agent to hunt down a violent, body-hopping alien that loves nothing more than fast cars, heavy metal, and committing random acts of destruction. Unlike many 80s sci-fi flicks, The Hidden doesn't waste time with philosophical musings. It's all about action, mystery, and ridiculously entertaining set pieces. Kyle MacLachlan, in particular, is fantastic as the eerily calm agent with a few secrets of his own. The practical effects are top-notch, and the film maintains a relentless pace that makes it impossible to look away. What really makes The Hidden special is how seamlessly it blends genres, part buddy cop movie, part alien horror, and part action thriller, all wrapped up in a neon-soaked 80s aesthetic. It never got the recognition it deserved, but it's one of those films that, once you see it, you'll wonder why it isn't mentioned alongside the greats. Fantastic Planet, 1973. French animated sci-fi is already a niche category, and Fantastic Planet sits at the top of that weird little mountain. This surreal, trippy film is about tiny humans, being enslaved by giant blue aliens, drags, who treat them like house pets. They read to them, dress them up, and occasionally squish them for fun. As the start to rebel, things take a turn for the nightmarish, culminating in one of the most bizarre, dreamlike climaxes in sci-fi history. What makes Fantastic Planet so unforgettable is its animation style, which looks like a mix of surrealist paintings and fever dreams. Every frame is a work of art, filled with strange creatures, impossible landscapes, and enough symbolic imagery to fuel a dozen film school dissertations. The film also serves as a deep allegory for oppression and resistance, reflecting themes of colonialism and societal control. Watching it feels like slipping into an alternate dimension, where logic is secondary to emotion and symbolism. It's the kind of movie that sticks with you long after the credits roll, leaving you questioning everything you thought you knew about power, control, and the human condition. So there you have it, 5 forgotten sci-fi classics that deserve a second look. Whether you're into talking bombs, rebellious house pets, or post-apocalyptic buddy comedies, there's something here for everyone. These films prove that sci-fi doesn't have to be about expensive CGI or endless franchise sequels to be truly memorable. Have you seen any of these? Did I miss a hidden gem? Let me know in the comments.